Hour 38. Tom Harrison has been searching this forest for a missing hiker since yesterday morning. He's covered 14 miles of rough terrain. He's checked ravines, creek beds, dense undergrowth, and rocky outcrops. He's searching for 16-year-old Kevin Matthews, who disappeared on a solo hike 3 days ago. Kevin's parents are at base camp, waiting for news, hoping for a miracle. Tom has been doing search and rescue for 23 years. He's participated in 186 searches. He's found 43 people. 37 of them were already dead. In 2 hours, Tom will find Kevin Matthews. The search will be over, but it won't be a rescue. It will be a recovery. This is the story of search and rescue volunteers who go into the wilderness looking for miracles, but mostly find tragedy, who search for days without pay, without recognition, carrying the weight of family's worst fears, and why they keep searching, even when hope has long since died. Meet Tom Harrison, 52 years old, high school science teacher, married to Linda for 28 years, father of 2 grown children. For 23 years, Tom has been a certified search and rescue volunteer with Mountain County SAR. When someone goes missing in the wilderness, Tom's pager goes off. He drops everything and responds. He's not paid. He receives no compensation for his time, equipment, or the emotional toll of searching for people who are often already dead. He does it because someone has to look for the lost, even when finding them means recovering a body. Search and rescue operates on a cruel timeline. The first 24 hours are critical. After 72 hours, searches shift from rescue to recovery. The goal changes from saving a life to finding remains. Kevin Matthews has been missing for 72 hours when Tom's team mobilizes. Statistically, they're looking for a body, but they search with the same urgency as if he might still be alive, because Kevin's family needs to know. They need closure. They need to bring their son home. And volunteers like Tom are the only ones who can give them that. Hour 6. Tom's team has covered 3 square miles. They've searched ravines where hikers sometimes fall, checked caves where people seek shelter, followed creek beds where confused individuals follow water. No sign of Kevin. No response to their calls. No scent trail for Riley to follow. Hour 12. They've expanded the search radius. Other teams are covering adjacent sectors. Helicopter doing aerial reconnaissance. Drones searching from above. Still nothing. The forest is vast. One person, even in bright clothing, becomes invisible among millions of trees. Hour 18. Tom's muscles ache. His feet are blistered. He's been awake for 34 hours. But he keeps searching because somewhere in this forest, a family's worst nightmare is waiting to be discovered. Searching at night is dangerous and largely ineffective, but they continue because stopping feels like giving up. Tom lies down for 90 minutes of rest, too wired to actually sleep. He thinks about Kevin's parents. They're not sleeping either. They're sitting in a church basement that's been converted to family staging area, drinking bad coffee, staring at maps, waiting for news that will either save them or destroy them. Tom has delivered both kinds of news. He knows which one is more likely. In 23 years, he's found 6 people alive, 37 dead. The math is brutal. Hour 38. Dawn breaks on the second day of searching. Tom's team is assigned to a remote ravine system 3 miles from where Kevin was last seen. Riley alerts. She's caught a scent. Tom's heart races. It's the moment every search and rescue volunteer both hopes for and dreads. Finding someone means the search is over. But after 72 hours, finding someone usually means finding a body. Riley leads them down a steep embankment. Tom radios command. Team 3, we have a potential find. Sector 7 coordinates following. At the bottom of the ravine, they find Kevin Matthews. Kevin is at the base of a 40-foot ravine. He fell during his hike, sustained fatal injuries. He likely died within hours of going missing, before search even began. Tom checks for vitals anyway. Protocol. But Kevin has been dead for at least 2 days. Tom radios command. We have a find. Deceased male, consistent with missing subject. Coordinates transmitted. Requesting recovery team. His voice is steady. Professional. It has to be. But inside, he's mourning for the parents he'll never meet. For the boy who died alone. For another search that ended the wrong way. Recovery takes 6 hours. They can't use helicopter in the dense canopy. Kevin's body must be carefully carried out the same way Tom hiked in, through miles of rough terrain, up steep slopes, across streams. Tom doesn't leave. He stays until Kevin is safely transported to the medical examiner. It's not required. His part of the search is technically over. But Tom stays because Kevin deserves that respect. Because the family will want to know their son wasn't alone. Because this is what search and rescue means. Searching until found. Staying until home. Even when home means a coroner's vehicle instead of parents' arms. At base camp, the chaplain delivers the news to Kevin's family. Tom hears their screams from 100 yards away. A mother learning her son is dead. A sound that will haunt him like all the others. This is his 38th recovery. The 38th time he's found someone too late. The 38th family destroyed by news he helped deliver. He's also found 6 people alive. 6 miraculous rescues that make the 38 tragedies somehow bearable. 6 families reunited. 6 times hope won. Tom doesn't know if the math makes sense, but he knows he'll keep searching anyway. 52 hours after his pager went off, Tom pulls into his driveway. He's filthy, exhausted, emotionally drained. He found what he was looking for, but it wasn't the outcome anyone hoped for. Linda doesn't ask questions. After 28 years of marriage and 23 years of search and rescue, she knows. She sees it in his face. You found him, she says. Not a question. Yes, Tom replies. Too late. She holds him while he showers, makes him food he's too tired to eat, sits with him in silence, because there are no words that help. Monday morning, Tom is back at school, teaching photosynthesis to 9th graders. His students have no idea that 48 hours ago, he was carrying a dead teenager out of a ravine. This is the reality of volunteer search and rescue. You give up your weekends, your holidays, your sleep. You miss family events, work commitments, moments that normal people take for granted. You search through forests, mountains, deserts, and rivers looking for people who are usually already dead. You carry the emotional weight of finding bodies and facing families. You do it for free. And then you go back to your regular life and pretend you're fine. 3 days later, Tom receives a text from SAR Command. Kevin's family has invited search and rescue volunteers to the memorial service. Tom has attended 14 funerals in 23 years. For teenagers, elderly hikers, experienced mountaineers who made one mistake, people with dementia who wandered from care facilities. Each funeral is different. Some families want to thank the searchers. Others can't face the people who found their loved ones dead. Tom respects both responses. He decides to go. Because Kevin's family asked. Because they need to know their son mattered to the strangers who searched for him. At the service, Tom sits in the back. He watches photos of Kevin, hiking, laughing, graduating middle school, playing guitar. A full life, cut short. After the service, Kevin's mother finds him. Are you one of the searchers? She asks. Tom nods. I'm sorry we didn't find him sooner. She starts crying. Then she says something Tom will never forget. Thank you for not stopping. Thank you for bringing my baby home. I couldn't bear thinking of him alone out there. You gave us closure. You gave us a place to say goodbye. This is why Tom does search and rescue. Not for the rare rescues, but for the recoveries that bring families peace. 2 weeks after finding Kevin, Tom is back training with Riley. Search and rescue requires constant practice. Wilderness navigation, rope work, first aid, search techniques, dog handling. Tom trains every week. He maintains certifications. He upgrades equipment. He prepares for the next search, because there's always a next search. Last year, Mountain County SAR responded to 47 searches. They found 31 people. 22 were deceased. 9 survived. This year, Kevin was number 23. There will be more. 3 months after Kevin Matthews, Tom's pager goes off at 6:18 a.m. Missing hiker, 72-year-old male. Alzheimer's patient who wandered from a family camping trip. Tom is out of bed instantly. No hesitation. No questioning whether he can do this again. Just automatic response because someone is lost and needs to be found. This is search 187 in 23 years. He doesn't know if it will be recovery or rescue. Statistically, recovery is more likely. Emotionally, he hopes for rescue. But either way, he's going to search until the person is found. Right now, there are approximately 150,000 search and rescue volunteers in the United States. They respond to over 100,000 searches every year across wilderness areas, urban settings, and water environments. They search for lost hikers, missing children, Alzheimer's patients who've wandered, hunters who didn't return, kayakers swept downstream, climbers who fell, people who simply vanished. Most SAR volunteers are unpaid. They provide their own equipment, training, and time. They risk their own safety to find people they've never met. They carry the emotional weight of finding bodies, far more often than finding survivors. And they keep searching because someone has to look for the lost. These aren't professional rescuers. They're teachers, mechanics, nurses, retail workers, retirees. They're ordinary people who've trained for extraordinary situations. They give up weekends, holidays, family time. They search in rain, snow, extreme heat, dangerous terrain. They face hypothermia, dehydration, injuries, and exhaustion. They find children who drowned, elderly people who died from exposure, experienced hikers who made one fatal mistake, people who wanted to be lost and succeeded. The ratio of tragedy to triumph is overwhelming. But they search anyway because every family deserves answers. Every missing person deserves to be found. Tom Harrison has found 43 people in 23 years. 38 were dead. 5 were alive. Those 5 rescues: a lost child found hypothermic but surviving, an injured climber located before he bled out, a dementia patient discovered confused but unharmed, a suicidal hiker talked down from a cliff, a kayaker pulled from rapids. Those 5 make the 38 bearable. Not worth it. Nothing makes finding dead children or grieving parents worth it. But bearable. Meaningful. A reminder that sometimes hope wins. And that's enough to keep Tom searching. When I asked Tom why he continues search and rescue after finding so many bodies, his answer revealed the heart of every SAR volunteer. "I can't not do it," he said. When someone goes missing, families are living their worst nightmare. They need answers. They need someone actively looking, not just waiting for a body to surface eventually. The 5 people I found alive, I was the difference between them living and dying. That matters. But the 38 I found dead also matter. Their families got closure. They got to say goodbye. They got their loved ones home. I don't do this for gratitude or recognition. I do it because someone has to look for the lost, even when finding them means recovering remains. Everyone deserves to be searched for. Everyone deserves to be found. If Tom's story opened your eyes to the invisible heroes who search for the missing, share it with someone who needs to understand that SAR volunteers sacrifice everything to find people they've never met. If you know a search and rescue volunteer, acknowledge the emotional toll they carry. Thank them not just for successful rescues, but for recoveries that bring families peace. Support them in processing trauma that accumulates with every body found. And if you are a SAR volunteer watching this after a difficult recovery, remember Tom's words. You're not just finding bodies. You're bringing people home. You're giving families answers. You're providing closure that allows grief to begin. Every search matters, even when it ends in tragedy. You search for people who can't search for themselves. You carry hope when families have none left. You give your time, equipment, and emotional well-being to bring the lost home. That's heroism in its purest form. Subscribe to The Quiet Brave for more stories about people who sacrifice everything to help strangers. Hit the notification bell so you never miss stories about the heroes who show up when hope is fading.